Hi everyone and welcome to a countdown video here on Theme Park Worldwide. In this video I'm going to be sharing my top 10 best roller coasters in Germany. Now in my opinion Germany has some of the best theme parks and roller coasters out there in the world, and I've been to a lot of the parks in Germany, not all of them by all means, but I've been to a good fair share of parks and I've got a fantastic list that I'm going to share with you in this video. As always, these are my opinions, this is my top 10 list from Germany, but I would love to know yours too. So comment down below and be sure to share it with everybody in the comments. And of course, I look forward to reading all of those. Lots to talk about then in this video. So let's go straight into 10th place and a trip to Europa Park. It's going to be appearing a few times in this list, of course. But yes, in 10th place, it's Blue Fire Mega Coaster at Europa Park. Now, with Blue Fire, it's manufactured by Mack Rides. It's one of their launch coasters, and it was the prototype of this style of launch coaster from Mack Rides that opened in 2009. It's located in the Iceland themed area that I absolutely love at Europa Park, probably my favourite area there. It's got some brilliant rock work, lots of nice building styles, and I just really like the vibe around that area. In terms of the coaster itself, I absolutely love the train design and what Mack Rides came up with back in 2009. Nice simple lap bars, of course as well it's got the onboard sound system, which is great, speakers behind you and in front, and yeah, just the overall train design is awesome. With this ride, before you even get outside the station, you've been immersed inside this brilliant themed world, walking up through the queue line, through all the rocks, great interaction with the rides, and then of course you're onto the coaster itself. Starts off with a great indoor dark ride section that builds up the hype, and then of course you launch straight out of the building, the doors open, and you launch from 0 to 62 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds. It's a great launch on Blue Fire. It's a lot more forceful than some of the later Mack launch coasters that have been built, such as Helix and Icon. I do really feel like the launch on Blue Fire is far superior to those, and don't get me wrong, the overall package of this ride too certainly does live up to it. It's got 4 absolutely fantastic inversions. It's got a huge loop that looks gorgeous, but my favourite inversion has got to be that final inline twist. And honestly, with the lap bars, you really feel like you're just going to get flung out of the train. It's got great near misses and head choppers all throughout the ride, and it's just a fantastic overall package in my opinion. So yeah, starting off in 10th place there with Blue Fire Mega Coaster. Into 9th place then, and it's Karakou, which is located at Tripsdrill. Now this is a Gerstlauer Infinity Coaster that opened back in 2013. What I love about this ride is that once again it's a complete experience, it's a full package. You look at the ride and it's gorgeous, and it doesn't particularly look heavily themed at first, but it's actually got some really nice landscaping around the coaster. As you make your way into the station, there's loads to look at in the interior queue line and station area, and of course the trains look amazing. Love the design with all the LED lights on board. The audio inside the station really helps build up the atmosphere, and of course it's an infinity coaster with lap bars from Gerstlauer that I am a big fan of. With this, of course, you've got an inversion that starts inside. You then go into a rolling launch which reaches the ride's top speed of 55.9 miles an hour in just 1.6 seconds. So it's a really snappy launch on this ride that I am a big fan of. Following on from that, you've got 4 absolutely brilliant inversions that it takes with some really nice speed. You've got some good hang time on some of them as well, but also just the overall kind of feel and vibe of this ride. It's very smooth, it's very enjoyable. I kind of feel like this is one of Gerstlauer's best coasters in my opinion. Just really enjoy what they did with the design on this, and then of course combined with the Tripsdrill elements, with the theming, the design of the trains, the storyline behind this ride, it just comes together and it's absolutely brilliant. So it's snappy, it's thrilling, it's got some good hang time, but along with that as well, it's got some good thrills to it, and the launch is absolutely brilliant. I love a good rolling launch, and you kind of drop down into it on this ride, which I am a big fan of and I absolutely love. Let's move then down into 8th place now, and it's the first B&M coaster coming up in the list, and with this one it's Black Mamba, which is located at Phantasialand. It's a Bolliger and Mabillard inverted coaster that opened back in 2006. Now with this ride, again, it's beautifully themed. It's located within the Deep in Africa themed area of the park, which is absolutely gorgeous, and it's got some stunning theming and rock work all the way around this ride. But what actually makes Black Mamba is how much of it is actually hidden away. 2/3 of this ride were actually dug into the ground during the construction, meaning that you look at it and it looks like a really short layout, but I tell you what, Black Mamba isn't. It really has got so much going for it. You climb the lift hill that again is kind of enclosed inside this building at the top top end of it. You then drop down to the right and up into a fantastic inversion, which is the first loop, especially towards the back. It is ridiculously intense. It's one of the best loops on a B&M invert in my opinion, and that's a pretty big statement. And then of course you dive in out of all the different rocks, there's tunnels, and it really does build up the speed on Black Mamba. 49.7 miles an hour is the top speed on this ride. It's got 4 inversions in total, and of course including that absolutely fantastic loop at the start. But what makes this ride for me isn't so much the actual inversions, it is the fact that it's been designed so well. You've got Hotel Matamba at the side, you've got these trees all the way around, and then you're just dipping in and out of rocks. The amount of times that I'm getting off-ride footage of it and I'm standing around the Deep in Africa area at Phantasialand and I still don't know the full layout of the ride. I've been loads of times now, I've been on the coaster probably 50 times over the years, but I still can't work out from off-ride the layout of it. It's just so dipping in and out of all the rocks and tunnels, waterfalls, and honestly I absolutely love it. So it's in solid place. In 8th place it's Black Mamba at Phantasialand. Right then, into 7th place then now, and it's Flugde Damonen, which is located at Hyde Park. Now, with this, it's a B&M wing coaster that opened in 2014. Was there on the opening day, actually, of this. Fantastic day we had there at Hyde Park. And yeah, with this ride, it's Flight of the Demons. That's what it translates to in English. And it's got a horror theme, if you haven't guessed already, with the name and the look of it. But yeah, it's got a horror theme, which is absolutely brilliant. It was actually built on the park's former log flume site. And the incorporated part of the turntable area for the log flume into the design of the queue line for this, and just the overall package of this is fantastic because you've got a Mack Rides bobsled coaster which is located just above it, which is great, and then of course you've got all these buildings that were already there, so this coaster fits in beautifully into the landscape, and it's kind of dug down at this point, so it looks huge. It looks bigger than it actually is, but don't get me wrong, it's a big ride, but it looks even taller than it actually is because of how it's been built onto the terrain and onto the landscape, and the interaction with the buildings is what makes it. Let's face it, for a wing coaster to be awesome, it needs to have interactions, and that is certainly the case with this coaster. Along with that, it's got 5 inversions, so there's a lot packed into Flugde Damonen. My favourite of that has got to be the first inversion, which is the dive drop. It's got a brilliant airtime hill on this that you really take at some speed as well, that I am a huge fan of. Along with that, it reached a top speed of 62.1 miles an hour, so pretty quick for a wing coaster, and it feels it on there. It takes some of these inversions at a really fast pace, and that dive drop, you know, it's very different to the one on the Swarm at Thorpe Park. Goes into it much quicker than on the Swarm, and I do really like it. It's a brilliant coaster, and the theming and overall experience really makes it, and them head choppers I absolutely love. Into 6th place then now, and it's Arthur in the Minimoys Kingdom, located at Europa Park. Now this is a beautiful ride. Now it's a Mack Rides inverted powered coaster that opened in 2014, and what I love about this is the complete package, the experience of it. Mack Rides have been developing some brilliant train designs for many years now, but what they did with this is incredible, and there's still not many of these around the world, and I absolutely love the design of them. 4 riders sit together on a train design. And then of course there's 3 others built into that, meaning a total of 12 per train. With this, it's got a lap bar that comes down, it's got loads of speakers, they're above you, they're behind you, at the side, brilliant speaker system, and it comes together as like part roller coaster and part dark ride, but it is still classed as a roller coaster in my opinion. It's a powered coaster from Mack, and this is absolutely fantastic. The ride itself is themed all around Arthur, of course, and the Minimoys Kingdom. It's got other rides that it interacts with. There's like a little carousel and a couple of drop towers, and it's mostly indoors, but it has got an outside section as well that heads over the water. They've got like a river what runs through the park, and it runs over there. But what I really do like about it more than anything is just the ride system. It's a brilliant family ride. It combines everything, dark ride elements, coasters, special effects, screens, and it all comes together in an absolutely wonderful package that I'd love to see more of these rides. There is actually one opening at Universal Beijing this year, the new park there, and it's themed around Jurassic Park, so I'd love to go and see that. Well, Jurassic World, so I'd love to go and experience that at some point, being a big fan. So yeah, it's a brilliant ride, Arthur, and it's just the overall vibe of it that I really enjoy. The seats actually can vibrate as well. There's water squirted at you. There's all sorts going on that ride, and that certainly is absolutely fantastic. Right then, so we're at the halfway point then now, and in 5th place, it's a brand new roller coaster that's only actually operated for a few months, but I was lucky enough to get out there the second day of operation for this, and then went back the week later with Charlotte because I loved it that much. It is, of course, Fly, which is located at Phantasialand. This is a new generation Vekoma flying coaster that opened in 2020, and this is absolutely amazing. It's actually the world's longest flying coaster, but you know what? It's got that title, but that isn't what makes the ride. It's everything about it. This is absolutely incredible. The Rupra themed area is absolutely incredible. You walk around it, there's so much to see. There's restaurants, there's a sweet shop, there's a hotel, there's all these pathways, there's steam coming out through the ground, and it's the overall steampunk theme of this that is brilliant. The coaster itself is spectacular because it actually features 2 launches. Of course, the second one it rolls up into, and you get some really good airtime, which is a weird sensation on a flying coaster, but I loved it, what they did on this. And my favourite part of this is the fact that the loading position is very different. In the station, you sit into the seat like I am now, and then it dispatches like that, and then it turns as part of like an inversion into the flying position, which is brilliant. Such a big step up from the B&M flying coasters, in my opinion. It's such an immersive area. It's got so much going about it, and the fact that Phantasialand have to hide these rides and cover them up because of sound issues, that kind of makes it for me. You know, they put these big sound barriers up, and there's big like airships and theming around. It's absolutely spectacular. It really is, and they did a brilliant job with this at the park. But it's got twists, it's got drops, it's got turns, and it all comes together in one of the most beautiful roller coaster experiences in Europe, in my opinion. Into 4th place then now, and it's Silver Star, located once again at Europa Park. This opened back in 2002, and it's a B&M Hyper coaster. One of my favourite models of B&M Hyper. Love them. Them clamshell restraints I'm a big fan of, and Silver Star is a ride that's actually grown on me a lot of the years. When I first rode it, I enjoyed it, but I wasn't a massive fan. But over the past few years, just fallen in love even more with Silver Star. I just seem to really enjoy it and rate it a lot higher now. I do wish the theme was a bit better. It's got a big Mercedes-Benz sponsorship. I wish that Europa Park would kind of blend it in better with the area. I know it's all based on F1 and with it being in the French themed area, but I don't know. I'd like to see them kind of improve the theming of the queue line and station area more than it is, because it just doesn't kind of fit with the vibe of the park, in my opinion. But the ride is brilliant. This B&M Hypercoaster climbs up all the way up that lift hill to 239 foot, 72 meters, and then you drop straight down and over the car park. Bit of a car park coaster, but you know what? It does ride really well. It's got some great drops and camelbacks. The airtime on here is incredible. It's got a brilliant finale to this ride. You come into like the mid-course brake run, and then you twist down into some more of these turns, and you take them brilliantly. It's fantastic, and you get some great airtime coming out of that mid-course as well. It's a big popular ride at Europa Park. It's definitely the public's favourite at Europa Park. They do love it. There's something else that I do rate a bit higher, as you're going to find out in the list. But yeah, you know, it's a brilliant attraction that I do very much enjoy. Let's move then into 3rd place and staying at Europa Park, because like I say, there's something that I rate a little bit higher at that park, and that is Woden Timber Coaster. It's a GCI, Great Coasters International wooden coaster that opened back in 2012. This ride is brilliant. It's one of the best wooden roller coasters in the world, in my opinion. The ride itself, once again, is located within the Iceland themed area of Europa Park, but it's all based around Norse mythology. And with this ride, there is so much theming all the way around the whole layout. So there isn't one part of Woden that isn't themed. Now, you walk into the queue line, you're going through all these different tunnels and like mine shafts, and it's beautifully themed with all the decor in there. There's all these light up diamonds on the walls. There's like this big snake on the wall. And also the queue line, completely unrelated to the theme, but it's got to be one of the only roller coasters in the world to have a toilet, a restroom, whatever you want to call it, in the queue line. Like, absolutely incredible. Like, I love the fact that Europa Park incorporated that. I think they knew back in 2012 it was going to be very popular, and it's a restroom that I like to use every time that I go on Woden. But yeah, with this GCI coaster, it's brilliant. You climb all the way up to 131 feet, 39 meters, and then drop straight down back through the structure, through tunnels, through different various drops and airtime moments, and it reaches some pretty high speeds, 62 miles an hour on this ride. That is brilliant. It's got a nice mix of like double down style elements and going around all these different corners and intense sections. And I love GCI coasters, and this has been designed absolutely brilliantly with the overall theming that makes it one of the best wooden roller coasters out there, in my opinion. Right then, so we're down to the top two. And in second place, it's Expedition G-Force. Now this is located at Holiday Park and it opened back in 2001. It's an Intamin mega coaster that is absolutely brilliant. It's not particularly themed, but it's located in the trees. It's got a bit of a forest all the way around it, which is stunning. And you look at the drop on this ride and it is absolutely incredible. It's got an 82-degree drop, which is 173 foot and 52 meters, which is pretty incredible because it reaches a top speed of 74.6 miles an hour and it's got so much airtime on it. No inversions, but none are needed on this. It is packed with airtime. It's got a stunning first drop. It's one of the most underrated coasters in Europe, in my opinion. People just don't seem to talk about it as enough, in my opinion. It's a brilliant ride and it's right up there as one of the best roller coasters in Europe, in my opinion. Expedition G-Force. It's got nice simple lap bars with a seatbelt as well, but the trains are beautifully designed on that from Intamin. It might be an older ride now. We're going back, 20 years, but it just packs a punch and it's absolutely incredible. It really is. You've got to go out there and experience it if you're in the area. Europa Park's only just over about an hour and a half away. So if you go into Europa Park, get yourself down to Holiday Park and go and experience Expedition G-Force. It really is fantastic. So we're down to the top spot then now. What roller coaster in Germany is going to be here? It is, of course, Taron. This opened in 2016 within the Klugheim themed area at Phantasialand. It's an Intamin LSM launch coaster that features world-class theming, and there's nothing else quite like Taron with the theming around. It really is gorgeous. What they did with Klugheim is incredible. The rock work, the planting, and the near misses and interactions, it comes together as one of the best roller coaster experiences anywhere in the world. It's got two launches. The first one's great, but the second one is where the fun's at because the coaster slows down and then it rolls straight into this second launch where it propels it up to its top speed of 72.7 miles an hour and off you go into the rest of the layouts. But with this, it crosses over itself so many times, and it's the fact that you're dipping in and out of these tunnels and buildings. If you had your arms out to the side, I'm sure that you'd hit the building because everything's just so close. It really is, like, as you're going round. It's very well designed. They've also got Rake, which is a Vekoma boomerang in the area as well, one of the family boomerangs that interacts with the ride. And just the overall package of Klugheim is incredible. It's amazing to ride, but it's also great to watch off-ride. And these, in my opinion, are the best trains in the business at the moment. I absolutely love this Intamin style of trains, what they use on their LSM launch coasters. They are incredible. I just love the lap bar design. No seat belts needed. There's no real sides on the trains. You're just so exposed to the coaster, the theming and the elements, and I absolutely find it incredible. There you go. That's my top 10 list for Germany. Like I say, I would love to know yours, so comment down below on this video. It's always nice to hear your opinions on different rides too. And if you haven't already, check out my other videos that I've done similar to this, talking about my top 10 best roller coasters in the Netherlands. I've also filmed one for the UK, of course my home country, and as well for the world, so check out that one too. But I am going through different countries individually now every few weeks, so stay tuned for more of those in the future here on Theme Park Worldwide. Thanks for joining me for another countdown video. There's brand new videos every day here on the channel, so thank you so much for all of your support. That leaves me with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. See you in tomorrow's video.